So this is sort of eerily similar, Stephen A., to what happened a year ago. They were cruising, and then KD got hurt. He missed 21 games. They went 5-16. How do they avoid a similar implosion now?
Defend. If you recall last year when KD was balling and they were balling, they were prolific offensively, but they played no defense. And you knew that you could score on them. You just couldn't outscore them. Since Jacques Vaughn has taken over as head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, they're one of the top 10 defenses in the National Basketball Association. Be about the business of stopping the opponent, impeding what they want to do offensively. That will keep you in more games than not and put a guy like Kyrie in position to make some noise offensively. Defend, defend, defend.
We're going to see them coming up. In the meantime, before I get to Michael and Jalen, I want to bring Woj into the conversation right over here, because Woj has some interesting insight into the way the organization is approaching this month or so that they'll be without KD. Woj, what can you tell us?
Hey, Greeny, this for Brooklyn now is a chance to evaluate I think especially their role players who now, like T.J. Warren, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, who are going to have outsized roles with Kevin Durant out, and see how these guys play in the next month and allow them then to make some decisions about the trade deadline. Now, remember, Brooklyn, while they've got a number of first-round picks tied up with Houston from the James Harden trade, they do have picks from Philadelphia, and they have an owner in Joe Tsai who has shown a willingness to take on salary to run up their luxury tax bill. And so this is certainly the ultimate win-now team in the NBA, and I think certainly they'll be active ahead of the trade deadline. But as Stephen A. said, this is a better team defensively. They've got Kyrie Irving on a full-time basis this year, and a Ben Simmons who has played better as this season's gone on. I don't think they expect the upheaval without Kevin Durant that they had last year. But certainly now, I think for Sean Marks and Jacques Vaughn, a chance, to really look at this roster. And they have, a little less than a month now, to make some decisions and some evaluations ahead of the trade deadline.
All right, well, thank you for that. We'll see you on Countdown coming up at the top of the next hour. Meanwhile, we'll come over here. He mentioned Kyrie Irving. He was a part-time player at this time last year. He actually played 12 of the 21 games that KD was absent. Can he keep this thing afloat, Jalen?
I don't think he's going to keep it afloat a la Ja Morant and what he does with the Memphis Grizzlies. That's what they would need from him. And as Stephen A. mentioned, yes, they need to defend. But with KD, one of the best guys at switching and contesting at the rim that they have, they just don't have enough height other than Claxton. They don't have enough bulk other than Ben Simmons. And definitely without KD, no front court scoring. Claxton relies off drop-offs, layups, and dunks, and rightfully so, shooting over 70%. El just mentioned that Ben Simmons had as many points as all of us put together in the previous game. Royce O'Neal is a three-point shooter. He doesn't make a lot of twos, and so that's where they're going to struggle, offensively up front.
We knew that the adversity was coming. We didn't know it would come like this. How will they handle it, Michael?
Well, I think it depends on the person we're seeing on the screen now, Kyrie. And Stephen A. has talked about something that's really important here. Talked about this being a free agent audition, if you will. I mean, there's a lot of basketball left in Kyrie. Somebody's going to pay him. But what are we looking at here? What's his personal ambition? And can that come through team structure? Kyrie Irving, I just looked this up. Kyrie Irving has never averaged 7 assists per game in his career, which is amazing considering he is the best ball handler in the league today and one of the best of all time. Mm-hmm. How can he incorporate his teammates, all those people that Jalen just mentioned, who are dependent players?
Correct.
Who are they dependent on? The point guard, the guy who sets the table. Kyrie has that talent. Can he change the way he operates, much like we've seen James Harden? James Harden, fine, I can score 40, I can also get you 15 dimes. Will Kyrie do that? He's never done it. Will he do it now? That may be the only way, Greeny, that team could come out of this with a 500 or plus 500 record if Kyrie, as great as he is, just gives it that tweak. Will he do it?
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.